That's my best friend.
Hello and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we will be looking at why Tyler Oakley's YouTube channel has died. Tyler Oakley is a YouTube original. No, not that YouTube original. Does anyone actually pay for that membership, by the way? Tyler has been on the platform since 2007. The guy became massive on YouTube. He was kind of a gay icon who everyone wanted to collab with and be friends with.
Really?
For the gods.
Okay.
Hannah, you need to get your head in the game.
Tyler seemed so bubbly and fun, and YouTube was full of that at the time. We didn't really have sarcastic comedy that was promoted on the platform. Instead, we had clean-cut people being pushed because it only helped YouTube's image. I can't pinpoint when exactly I found Tyler's channel, but one video series that really sticks out in my mind is his.
Today it is time for another Q and Slay. Q and Slay. And it is time for another Q and Slay.
I remember always singing along to the intros, and then someone would walk in and I'd just be like,
Let me live.
Back then, content like this was the highlight of YouTube, but if you tried to force me to watch a Q&A now, I'd probably delete my YouTube account. Mostly because, in my mind at least, Q&As can be hella boring and just seem like lazy content because the creator has run out of ideas. I'm sure you can all think of one YouTuber who uploads update videos every few videos because they've just fallen off YouTube or just can't be bothered to put in effort. I would argue that he was kind of the king of YouTube for the longest time. He was really smart with the whole YouTube thing. He collabed with massive people. He was able to draw in the British audience by becoming besties with Zoella and all those other British YouTubers. He would also do collabs with infamous creators. Jenna Marbles, Troye Sivan, Liza Koshy, and the list goes on.
Then that's a little bit scary.
A little bit spoopy.
Stop it. Get some help.
He was also rumoured to have a relationship with Troye Sivan, which only helped his case, because who doesn't love a love story? But that was never confirmed. But just like many other YouTubers, when they gain a lot of success on YouTube, they decide to venture out and do other things. From off the top of my head, I remember Tyler writing a book called Binge and talking about it a lot. That wasn't shade, by the way. I also remember he went on a long-ass tour where he wore onesies. I actually have no idea what YouTubers actually do on tour, because if they don't sing, do they just like jump around stage and answer questions? You know, just asking for a friend. Anyway, back to Tyler. Through a lot of research, Wikipedia, I found that in 2013 he co-hosted a weekly pop culture show, then left and became the host of The Tyler Oakley Show, which was on Ellen DeGeneres' YouTube channel. Psst, why am I here? Psst, I need clout. I thought this was a little weird at the time, since he had a channel of about 8 million subs at the time, who I'm sure would have been very appreciative of this type of content. But this could also be because Ellen's channel would get more exposure and there's probably a better budget there. Or it could have been that he just wasn't getting enough views on his channel anymore. But that whole series also ended in 2016. It seems like these projects just keep ending, and he didn't really garner many views on Ellen's channel, so that could be the reason for the end of the series. His social blade is plummeting quicker than the amount of times Tyler has changed the colour of his hair. The loss is actually massive in comparison to his channel. He's losing hundreds of subscribers every single day, and in a month he's losing about 25,000, so in a year that will be 300,000 subscribers lost. That is just astonishing. And I'm not surprised. For a long time, Tyler just stopped uploading on his channel as frequently as he did, and he just kind of fell off. As someone who only followed his life on YouTube, I assumed he was busy with other stuff, and I think a lot of his subscribers felt the same, which only led to resentment building up. Because here was a guy who made you feel like you were his friend. He broke so many barriers on this platform and then kind of just stepped away from it, and this is what made him big. I'm sure it felt like a slap in the face for his biggest fans. I think Tyler expected his subs to follow him onto other platforms and just understand that he wanted to branch out, forgetting that most YouTubers have a younger audience, so instead of them waiting for his return, they moved on, because that's how the internet works. Time has been quickened and we are receiving content every second of every day. So if you're not there to participate, you're out. It still astonishes me when big YouTubers just don't care to upload, not even like one video a month. I'm sure you can use the argument that they were busy on tour or other ventures, but you're neglecting the core of your audience who helped you be able to have those opportunities. So sadly, when Tyler decided to come back with weekly uploads, the views no longer matched up. This may be due to the fact that he hasn't realised that the climate of YouTube has changed, but he was still using the same types of colourful thumbnails and the same format of content. But people were not having any of it, because you can't just ditch your audience. I actually remember when I unsubbed from Tyler, I found it hard since I'm a pretty loyal viewer. I think it was around 2 years ago, and it was honestly because he just wasn't uploading as much, and I think I just kind of grew out of his content. The second reason why his channel has died is that his content is lacking something. It feels like the same format, but it isn't working anymore. This could be because his audience have grown up and no longer interested, or that the content was never entertaining in the first place. Here are a few clips of his most recent videos.
So we just got to the plant nursery. I am a little intimidated. There is so much here. So the goal here is to find a big, huge main stage plant that we can kind of like work around. Yeah. This is pretty. Is that French? Says, what's your favorite show right now? I don't watch a lot of TV. I also put it out into the universe that I wanted a boyfriend, and I did it.
And those clips sum up his channel right now. Or his channel could have died because of his controversial tweets. For those who can't remember, the gist of it was he said that having a preference for a race to date to Tyler is plain racism and nothing more. The guy got a lot of shit for his comments. Many called him idiotic and just stupid. However, as much as I don't agree with Tyler's tweets, I do understand where he's coming from. I think he meant to say that if you're just into white people, that isn't a preference but racism, because what about other ethnicities? To him, this is racism, because saying you're into a specific race is built on oppression. I personally disagree with his tweets, because someone can say they prefer to date one race over another. For example, if someone said they preferred black people because they found them more attractive than another race, this isn't racism. It just means they prefer people who are black. And it also means that just because they came across, let's say, an attractive Asian person doesn't mean they wouldn't pursue that. But I think that Tyler kind of forgets that most of our preference comes from our environment. If we're surrounded with just white people or just black people or Asians or any other ethnicities, then you're more likely to be attracted to that. It's just preference is a preference, and it isn't racism. Not everything in life has to be about oppression, but his points don't make him a bad person. He's just trying to be too woke. The death of Tyler's channel was inevitable. Many of the YouTubers who blew up in 2014 have come crashing down. This is indicative of even though you have millions of subs, you must work to keep them. They aren't just numbers on a screen, they're real humans who are like, hey, I like your content, so I'm gonna show my support by subbing to you, so maybe don't forget about us and make decent content.
Maybe you guys are the handyman today, and I'm just the stay-at-home mom that needs her faucet fixed.
I threw up.
You threw up?
Tyler's channel became way too political, and he himself pledged himself to Hillary Clinton in the general election of America. And we were presented with a guy who wasn't just someone who sat in front of his camera, but someone who wanted to make a difference. Which is great, because, politics. But a lot of his audience are younger, and they're probably just like, I'm not old enough to vote. News media were completely consumed with this election, and it felt like you couldn't get away from the Trump and the Hillary Clinton drama. So for many, YouTube was kind of a safe haven where you could get away from that and laugh.
It's Hillary!
From his Instagram, we are presented with a guy who's apparently living his best life, happy and healthy. But don't forget, guys, social media is hella fake, so don't believe everything you see.
Stop it! Lord, make him stop, Lord! Why are you falling for this?
But he seems to be in a happy relationship, and you know what? Good for him. With every video, I like to reflect, and I truly believe the reason why Tyler is losing subs and barely getting 100,000 views on his channel is because people have either forgotten about him or are just bored of him and his content. I'm not trying to be mean, but we have seen this happen over and over again with many creators. Tyler is one of the few who actually hasn't had a lot of backlash for the things he has done. He just kind of dwindled out, which is normal for YouTube. The platform is so fast paced that not everyone can stay relevant. Regardless of if we keep watching him, he's still going to keep uploading. So good for him, I guess. Tyler is one of the few creators that I think would be able to turn this around somehow. If he just changed up his content and maybe tried different things, he could start gaining subs and a lot more views again. So overall, the death of Tyler's YouTube channel comes down to many factors, but I think the biggest one is Most of his audience have grown out of him and we're just looking for different content. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I'm trying to reach 100 subs, so maybe subscribe and give the video a like. I'm going to put my Twitter up here, and yeah, have a great day.
It's Hillary.